state capitol. This is your Capital Connection.
Welcome to Capital Connection. I'm Mark Maxwell. We're joined now by our Reporters Roundtable, who cover the State House inside and out every day. Rebecca Anzel from Capital News, Illinois, and Bernie Schoenburg from the State Journal-Register. As you refine and review the headlines of 2019 in Illinois politics, what's the big thing that stands out to you?
I think there's going to be some very life-changing things that occurred. One really big one, and you see it in the frenzy of towns, many of whom are deciding where to put sales outlets for marijuana, that coming January 1st, it will be legal to sell and use marijuana in Illinois. It will be highly regulated, like in Sangamon and Menard counties. There's only going to be 5 locations that can sell, if I have that right. But this is a major issue. It was more of a Democratic issue, I don't think exclusively. We did have a long fight in the past to allow medical marijuana to be used. Those dispensaries are out there. There's still, questions about it's still federally an illegal drug, but many states say it's legal. Now we're going full bore along with the governor.
Rebecca, in other solidly blue states like New York and New Jersey that have Democratic supermajorities or strong majorities, lobbyists who opposed legalizing recreational marijuana are celebrating victories there, saying they embedded themselves in the system and got enough Democrats on board to defeat those pushes there. What do you, from your vantage point and your reporting, what do you think separated Illinois from those other big blue states that helped them break through that logjam and pass legal recreational marijuana?
What's interesting about New York, too, is that Representative Cassidy went, and she was instrumental here in getting this law passed. The thing about New York especially is it's very blue. I think there was a desire for it, but a lot of people forget there's also a lot of conservatives in New York, especially upstate. New York and Illinois are like, they're flipped. So the New York City is down and Chicago is up, but the makeup is pretty similar. I don't know if the political might was there like it was here, and it was really interesting to see that Illinois was able to accomplish this. The governor was on board.
You mentioned also, Bernie, the gambling aspect, which was a big part of funding a lot of the vertical construction projects, the buildings of hospitals and universities and other projects around the state. To pay for all of those brick by brick, they had to first tax the chip by chip in the casino, if you will, or the video poker, or expanding literally casinos at several places around the state. You've probably covered and seen the rollout of a few different gaming bills or expansions in Illinois. Was this one any different?
Again, I think a lot of what happened was because of the momentum gained by Governor Pritzker coming in with on a strong year for Democrats. President Trump probably helped in a sense to help get Democrats to the polls. You have overwhelming majorities in the House and Senate here. He's able to get things done, and he has so many resources, and he is an unabashed advocate of these things. And when you have a governor pushing and assigning people to it, it just helps it go. And I've said this before, but I remember, back in the 70s, it was a big deal that scratch-off lottery tickets were finally being allowed as the first legal guys gambling in Illinois that I'm aware of. And we are now, so far into this where you have storefront little gambling centers all over Springfield, machines in restaurants and bars all over the state, except Chicago. But now Chicago, when they figure out where and what tax rate is going to get a casino finally, we are just all in. There is a social cost that has been not discussed as much as it should be, probably. We have found that the hotline for problem gambling, probably hasn't been working well enough, and there were thoughts, how do we make it better to actually ban people from casinos if they're in trouble? But there's just so much gambling in Illinois right now. You hope that that works out and people handle it in the proper way.
What do you think was the impact of this sort of sprawling and widespread federal corruption probe on gaming specifically, or gambling? Is there any read on how, considering the reports that Senator Terry Link may have been wearing a wire? He's denied those reports, but he was leading the gaming push in the Senate. Could that have thrown a wrench in the works down the stretch to wrap up that Chicago casino?
It definitely could have, for sure. It also may have been the fact that during the first week of veto was the teacher strike in Chicago, and so the mayor wasn't able to get here. She only came for the second week of veto, and it might have been too late for her to really push through the changes that she wanted. The tax rate for the Chicago casino, she believes, and a lot of people do, that it's too high for a Chicago casino to succeed. The Chicago contingent in the General Assembly was not thrilled that nothing happened, and so there might be a push. We'll see.
Some people have pointed out the government building called the Thompson Center is a big facility. If you've never seen it, it looks kind of like a half circle, if I'm describing it right. It's got like glass
Spaceship,
windows.
perhaps.
Spaceship. Yeah. It's just sort of sitting there in the middle of the loop, in the middle of the financial or the government district in Chicago's downtown area, right across from City Hall. And some people have speculated, well, hey, the state's trying to sell that building. Why don't they make that the casino? It already kind of looks like some kind of a roulette wheel. You can already see the lights flashing in the windows. And the aldermen could go on their lunch break right across from City Hall and go place a bet. And maybe if the city's budget is in a bad way, to say, hey, just go put $500 million on red and see what happens.
Well, it's a fanciful idea, but there's so much atrium space that they'd have to do a lot of remodeling, and that would be costly. So we'll see. You know, Governor Pritzker has come on to the idea, which started with Governor Blagojevich and Governor Rauner wanted it too, to sell that building and, you know, perhaps demolish it or enhance it. And there are some strong arguments on both sides. People say it's been a disaster from the time it was started. Some people say it's iconic because it was so different, the helmet John designed that makes it look like that spaceship. So we'll see what happens, but I'd be surprised if it became a casino.
Rebecca and Bernie, thank you for joining us on this week after Thanksgiving, and a happy holidays to you and your families. We'll be back in just a moment.